Welcome back. Our second guest is Lifestyle GP Dr. Avi Charlton, and we will be talking about natural ways to control and reverse diabetes. Welcome back, Dr. Avi. It's so good to see you again.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie.
Could you tell us what is diabetes and what is the effects of diabetes on our body and mind?
For the purpose of this, we're just going to talk about type 2 diabetes. But to understand type 2 diabetes, there's a stage before we become type 2 diabetic. We call it insulin resistance. So there's a lot of people that are insulin resistant. Actually, a big population of people, up to 80% of the population, can be insulin resistant. These people can have signs that we can see that can show us that there's signs of insulin resistance, especially those people who have increased belly fat. They might have skin tags, or they might be tired or going to toilet a lot to wee. They might have dark patches under the underarm. So these are the signs of insulin resistance. What happens is the body makes insulin, which is a hormone, to try and put the glucose away. So every time we eat glucose or carbohydrates which become glucose, the glucose, or we can also understand as sugar, actually goes into our bloodstream. Our body makes the insulin to put it away. If your body is managing with making more and more insulin, then you're not quite a diabetic yet. But if your body makes more and more insulin to put more and more glucose away, your body may not respond to all the insulin, and that is called insulin resistance. So what happens is if you work your insulin too hard, you get insulin resistant, and the next stage is you become a type 2 diabetic. Being a type 2 diabetic can have lots of consequences. It affects your whole body. There's too much glucose in your bloodstream, and it causes a lot of damages to everywhere in your body. Increases your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even small arteries, like it can cause you to be blind. It can affect your kidneys and cause kidney damage, and even affect the small nerves and small blood vessels in your feet. Some diabetics have to have their toes or feet amputated and chopped off, and it's actually terrible to have diabetes.
So is there a natural way for people to control and reverse diabetes?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can understand diabetes as a lifestyle condition. There are genetic causes as well. What we can do is we can modify our nutrition and eat much less carbohydrates and glucose and sugar. And don't forget, there's lots of sugar that's hidden in our processed foods and in all the packaged foods. So what we do is we eat more real foods, meat, eggs, chicken, fish, pork, lamb, protein, and we eat lots more above ground veggies like broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, tomato, mushrooms, all the good real food, and really staying away from starchy vegetables, potato, pasta, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and those vegetables. Concentrate on eating good nutrition, real foods, and we can also think about exercise. Going for walks is great, but lifting weights, building muscles, strength training, that will really help to improve our metabolic health and reduce diabetes. And also getting sunlight, getting outside into the sun, that can help to improve our metabolic health. And optimizing our sleep, making sure we sleep enough, and that will improve our metabolic health. We can bring down the glucose, regulate our circadian rhythm. Doing all these things can help you improve diabetes, reverse diabetes, and reduce insulin resistance. But we have to remember that if you are diabetic, especially those who are on medications, you need to speak to a professional who are equipped to talk about nutrition. So with regards to nutrition for diabetics, if we can reduce our carbohydrates as much as we can, reducing to a low-carb diet, less than 50 grams of carbs a day, or even a ketogenic diet with much less carbohydrates, less than 20 grams a day, That'll really help to control your diabetes or even reverse diabetes. Your body can heal and your body can improve naturally with improving our insulin resistance.
What advice do you have for both of our viewers, those who have diabetes already and those who want to prevent it?
Especially for those who have diabetes already, it's important to get professional guidance, especially those who are on diabetes medications or blood pressure tablets. They need to see a health professional who are equipped to talk about this. But everyone, especially those with diabetes or insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, the advice is if they can improve on their lifestyle, they can control the diabetes or even reverse diabetes. What I mean by improve their lifestyle is they can work on their diet, reducing the carbohydrates to as low as they can, reducing sugar, bread, potato, pasta, in eating more meat, eggs, chicken, fish, and above ground veggies. Then eating that way, they can improve their blood sugar level and control the diabetes or even reverse diabetes. They can also work on exercise. So going for walks is great, and building muscle strength training, lifting weights, that will help them improve their blood glucose level. They should optimize their sleep, making sure they sleep enough hours in the night. They can work on getting outside, exposing into sunlight, working with their circadian rhythm. Doing all that can improve their blood glucose level and control their diabetes or even prevent them from having diabetes. In that way, we can reduce your risk of chronic conditions that are associated with diabetes.
You've given us a lot to think about. Thank you so much, Dr. Avi.
Thank you, Stephanie.
If you would like to know more about natural ways to control and reverse diabetes and Dr. Avi Charlton, please visit her webpage on our website healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au.